Welcome to cooking cheap, easy, and tasty meals. Today we're going to make pumpkin pie snickerdoodles. To begin with, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of cloves, and 1 teaspoon of ground allspice. We're going to mix those together and get rid of any lumps that you have, if at all possible anyway. And now you have pumpkin pie spice. It smells wonderful. Okay, to get started, we've got flour. We're going to add pumpkin pie spice. We're going to add cinnamon separately, even though the pumpkin pie spice does have some cinnamon in it. And we're going to add baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda, and cream of tartar, and salt. And we're going to combine those together till they're well mixed. This recipe should make about 18 cookies, so I didn't really use a large bowl for this. Probably could have used a larger bowl. All right, so we're going to put that aside. Looks pretty well mixed. The next thing we're going to do is take a large mixing bowl and into it we are going to mix butter, granulated sugar, and brown sugar. There's the butter. And I'm going to get my spatula and clean out this a little bit better. I just softened it a little bit. And we're going to put the 2 sugars in, granulated sugar and brown sugar. And we're going to cream them together with the mixer. So basically you're hoping the butter will mix with it, turn it into a smoother mixture. And you're breaking up the brown sugar, which almost always has little lumps in it. Worst comes to worst, just pick them up or take a fork and break them. Now we're going to add the dry ingredients a little bit at a time because I don't want it to get in the air, spread all over everything. So if you do it a little bit at a time, it doesn't do quite as bad. Begin to smell the cinnamon and the pumpkin spice at this point. Okay. Now I'm going to scrape down the bowl a little bit. All right, the bowl's not really in that bad a shape. Looks like most of the batter has mixed together anyway. So a little bit more, and then that's it. Now we're going to cover the bowl with plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator for half an hour. Uncooperative plastic wrap. There we go. Covered with plastic wrap, going to put it in the refrigerator for half an hour. Cookie dough has been sitting in the cold, getting ready for us to scoop it. Our next step is to scoop the dough, and I'm using a cookie scoop, 2 tablespoon cookie scoop, I hope. I think that's about what it is. And I sprayed it with a little oil to try and keep it from sticking too badly. I'm not sure how well that's working. Doing the best we can. after I've scooped them all, we'll take them all and roll them in this sugar and cinnamon mixture to try and get a pumpkin snickerdoodle. So we want to take a shot at it, give it the same kind of feel as that. I'm trying to be consistent, but I'm not convinced that some of these are not a little bit larger than the others. All right, that's pretty much all we're going to get out of this first batch. So we'll add a little dough to this one because it doesn't look big enough. Now, I'm going to put a little water on the hands, put this dough aside for a moment. Try and roll these up, put them in here, get them nice and coated, put it back on down, roll it up a little bit, try and get it in here, coat it a little bit. One thing I've noted is the dough is a little wetter than what I would expect from a snickerdoodle, and I suspect that's because the variation in the pumpkin, how moist it is, would have some impact on that. Whereas when a regular snickerdoodle, you have more exact liquid measurements, you probably get a more consistent dough. It would be the same every time. I think it's just going to be a problem with handling them while you're putting the cinnamon and sugar on it. We're gonna have to cook this in 2 batches, which is fine. Okay, there's our first batch. If I remember right, we're supposed to get 18 cookies. So I've got the oven at 350 degrees. It's been preheating while the cookie dough was in the refrigerator. After you take the cookies out, let them cool for 15 or 20 minutes to crisp up, and then put them on a cooling rack, because really they're not going to get crisp until they have a little time to rest. My wife has already taken one, so I'm down 1 cookie already. I just noticed that it wasn't gone, and I asked, and sure enough, she took it while I wasn't looking. Oh well. These are really for my daughter. She asked for some pumpkin snickerdoodles, and I said okay. So I'm really going to send these to her. Although I suspect a few of them will get eaten before then. Anyway, those are ready. I'm going to let them sit there for another hour or 2, and they should crisp up. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and give us a like. Thank you.